starting.
Okay, great. Now I'm under pressure. Hey guys! Oh, I did my stupid wave.
Sounds like a double!
Yeah, hey guys!
Ooh.
Welcome back to the Fated Friends podcast, episode number 7. Today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction and does it really work? Ooh, that sounded very clickbaity.
I like it though.
Okay. So yeah, the first question is the law of attraction. We're just personal opinions. Liam, do you think it works and is it real?
Yes. And I haven't believed in this, I've only kind of really heard about it for the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't really believed it until about the beginning of this year. Yes,
Fair.
I do believe in it now, for sure. This year has proved it to me. And what was the other question? It was, what do I believe it is?
I mean, that wasn't a question, but you can answer it. Feel free. Now you're on the spot.
I'm trying to think. Was that a question? Can you hear that bird? That's really annoying. Sorry.
No.
I've got a bird sat outside. It's really fucking loud.
Good start to a video.
Yeah, so I think... Am I jumping on this question? Have I jumped ahead?
Only
I've jumped
slightly,
ahead,
because
haven't
I haven't given my opinion yet.
Yeah, so I believe in it. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Jackie?
Very long-winded answer. Okay. I am in agreement with you that yes, I do believe in the law of attraction. For me, I think everything started around like late summer 2017. So was that 2 years? I think that's been 2 years. Is it the same amount of time then?
Yeah, oh my god, I didn't know what year we're in then. Yes, it has.
Wow, that's weird. See, always in sync. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way. You guys can let us know your opinions below, like if you believe in law of attraction, does it work? Maybe we'll convince you with what we're about to say in our examples,
Yeah.
but let's get into everything. What is the law of attraction? I think it's hard to kind of summarize.
Yeah, I feel like it has different meanings to different people.
Yeah. I have something down my notes, like I feel like I always hear people say it's kind of that universal law of the energy you put out in the universe, you're gonna give back to you. So if you put negative out, you're gonna receive negative back, and if you put positive back, you're gonna receive positive back. If I said that correctly. It's a lot of positives and negatives there. But yeah, any opinions, Liam?
I think, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Well, that's what I've been doing. I feel like that's what's been working.
Yeah.
I kind of provided and made the proof for it, but definitely 100%. I think it's literally like your outlook on things to come or things that are happening, and when you send that thought out, 100% you will then get that back in turn.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not like it comes back as not that severe. Sometimes it comes back as in like tenfold, whether it's positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it kind of sets you up for being more positive minded, because it's almost like you're getting rewarded for thinking positively, but in multiple ways. It's so interesting.
Well, it's like that thing people say that the universe is full of abundance. So it's like if everyone's like wanting more money and everything, like that's not a bad thing because there is an abundance of money, so you will be able to get it. I feel like it's also that thing people say that if you are thinking in a state of lack, that's all you're going to receive. So like if you're like, I don't have enough money, I'm not good enough for this job, I'm not good enough to be in this relationship, that's the energy you're gonna get, and you're gonna keep like not having enough money or not having that job you want or not being in the relationship you want, because you're already putting out the energy, oh, I don't have it and I can't get it, so why would it come to you, sort of a thing. It's like you have to already be in the mindset of, even if you don't have money or something like that, that like it can come to me easily, and like money comes to me in all different sorts of ways. Like there's so many different ways to attract money, but people get, especially I feel like in life now, money is such a huge focus, and people make it out to be such a negative thing when that's just like a connotation we put on it, that everyone's feeling in such lack because they feel like there isn't enough when there is, if we were just more open to receiving it. But I mean, that goes for anything. I think money is just always the easiest example for people to understand.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's such a crucial point in everyone's life, and it's such a simple thing. So yeah, but that is, you're right. It is so. Best way to explain it is with money.
Yeah, no, it really is. Looking at my notes because I forgot everything. Oh yeah, it's also that kind of thing, like that phrase that treat people the way you want to be treated. Yes. I was just thinking about that when I wrote that down earlier today, that yeah, it's like the law of attraction. Like if you put out to people the way that you want to be treated, you're then going to receive that back because you're putting out that energy in the universe. Like everything, I believe everything is like, if you go into it in a scientific level, so I was going to talk too much. If you break everything down, we are all just like atoms and molecules, and you're all like vibrating at this certain rate. Like this object can feel solid to you, but really it's just all this vibration and movement holding it together. So like we are all just energy and matter. It's like the energy that you put out, and like even your thoughts affect everything. It's gonna come back to you somehow. So yeah.
So true. Right?
Yeah. That's the thing, is like true. I feel like people think it's this thing that like, oh, it's just like in your head, like this mumbo jumbo like magic stuff that doesn't work. And I'm like, but there is kind of scientific reasoning to sort of back it up. Sort of thing, like people always say like you go out in nature to kind of level out your energy, and it's that thing that like nature has that flow of abundance, and like it just produces because it knows it's going to get light from the sun, and it's going to get water from the rain, so it can just keep producing like fruit and everything. And it's kind of that thing that it's such a neutral space. And there are scientific reasons behind it. I don't want to go into everything, but it's like, you know, when you go and like take a walk or like go in a park, that you do feel better because it is more of a level energy there.
That's so true. That is so true. I find that as well with like certain places you go to, especially when it's not necessarily, it can be places where you don't actually realise you're walking into it, or you come across things and that kind of thing. Always, and you're so right, I don't think I've actually heard you say, or we've had a conversation like privately where we've said about like the feelings you get from places and the energy you get from places. I think we've only talked about Play This Live, but
of course,
it's so true that and I get that quite a lot. When I walk into places I've never been before, and I can just feel like I pick up on the energies there, and I feel like it's quite nourishing as well.
It can be, or it can be bad for you. It depends on the environment.
Yes.
Or even people, because it's like that thing of, if you come in contact with someone that's in like, well, it's like everyone calls it like a lower or higher vibration. If you're in a higher vibration and someone's in a lower, if you're not in a good enough place to keep yourself in that high vibration, they're gonna kind of bring you down. So I feel like I've kind of realized that too. Like you have to kind of really just stay centered and stay calm and like stay in your own vibration, because once someone lowers you, then the law of attraction is going to kind of, well, it won't lessen, but it's going to start bringing you those more negative effects because you've let something negative affect you.
That's so interesting. I've actually never thought about that.
Yeah.
Personally, that's so interesting.
There's a lot to think about.
There's a very recent experience actually I've had with a person who has come back into my life, kind of. Sort of. Yeah. I've kind of got like they've spoken a lot about themselves, and they are literally like you said, they're very low frequency in a sense within themselves. They're like, they haven't got a job, but you know they've got their place, but they don't. They're not someone who's like, I know I want to do this when I'm older, and I want to be.
It's not like that.
I want to be here.
Positive life energy.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, I'll just see how life takes me, but I'm not going to put any effort into life.
Yes, right.
And it blew my mind that I was like, wow, why would I want someone like that in my life? Yeah. When I'm setting to do things in my future. There's really awesome things I want to do.
Like you realise it's not going to help you.
Yeah, like, and you're so right with the frequency thing, because if he's literally resonating at a very low frequency and I'm at a very high one.
Yeah.
And
you can tell the difference once you're in that state.
Yeah. I've always thought to myself, I find it weird how I found it so easy to turn this person away and like kind of like brush them off.
Yeah.
And push them aside. Whereas before it was very difficult. But that
you were latched into that more negative energy. It's like I've realized that too. Like it would be so easy for me to snap into being that kind of negative state, and I'd be like, why am I always feeling so unhappy or stuck? And it's like I'm letting those people drag me back down to that negative space, where then I'm just only receiving negative back from the universe.
Yeah, that's so true.
You made me think of another point too with, I don't remember what you said, but like the not like putting effort in and like you just kind of letting life happen and not putting work in. Yeah. I feel like that's always a thing people think too with law of attraction, like, oh, it's just changing your thoughts and making vision boards and like not doing anything, when the law of attraction, like it does require work because we are in the physical world. So it's like you have to change your thoughts and everything and be more positive, but you also have to put out positive actions because we're in a physical universe. So you're going to need to receive benefits by actually doing stuff and like putting out steps to take action to what you want to do. I feel like none of that made sense, what I just wanted to say.
No, that actually made a lot of sense.
Like, you actually have to physically take action, like, do things and go out, talk to people, produce content, put your stuff out there if you want to actually make stuff happen. Like, it's not just all going to happen from thought, which I feel like kind of annoys me when people think that, like, oh, law of attraction, like, just think happy, or like, that's part of it, but it's not all of it.
No, yeah. If it was that simple, then, yeah. It'd be crazy,
it was that simple, yeah.
So, oh, I would like to move into America
yeah, I want to
tomorrow.
move to take mansion, think about a mansion.
Happen.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen. Like, you also have to work with your thoughts.
Yes, that is, wow, that is so true. I love that.
Okay, should we get into examples ourselves of law of attraction working?
Yeah.
So, I don't even know where to begin. For me, of course, one involves Playlist Live. If you haven't heard us talk about Playlist Live, then you haven't been here for a while. But it was, what year was it, Liam? Was it 2016, 15? When I was on the panel.
Yeah,
basically.
2016.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know. I should know this, but 2016, I actually was on a, like, small, what was it? I can't even think. I'm losing my complete train of thought right now. It was like a small YouTubers panel in Playlist Live, and that was like the first time I was ever on a panel, like doing something official at a YouTube convention. And I realized after, I know, it was crazy. I'm still excited by it. But I realized after that I kind of used, well, not kind of, it was the law of attraction that brought that to me. Like, for years before, I'd gone to the convention, like 3 years, I think, prior to that point. And I'd always be like coming home and be in my room and like pretending I'm on a panel and like sitting there like answering questions and thinking how I would react to questions. And it's like in my head I was already on the panel and like doing all the stuff the YouTubers do. So it's like by putting myself and my thoughts in that place of like, oh, I'm on the panel and I'm answering questions, I was bringing that energy closer to me. 'Cause it's like, this is the reality of it happening and these are my thoughts. They were on the same level. That's why it came to me, sort of a thing. And I had another thought, now it's gone. Oh, it's also that thing with the law of attraction that you have to just kind of trust and let go of energy. So yes. I think it's that thing that I really did want it to happen. I wanted to be on a panel. It's like I thought about it and it made me really happy, which put me in the higher vibration, but it wasn't like, oh my god, if I don't get it, I'm gonna be so sad, or like, oh, I don't have it right now. Like, I never thought of the lack of it. I just had fun kind of playing around in my head being on a panel. So it was that thing that I did just kind of let go and it did come to me. Because that's also crucial, is kind of the just letting it go and letting it happen.
That's so true.
Do you have an example, Liam?
For me, I think my biggest thing... Oh, can't we talk about work?
Yeah, maybe not.
It's kind of... Oh, God.
It's hard.
Like tiny examples, but it's hard to kind of
So that's the thing. Law of attraction can be used for like
into...
literally anything tiny. Like, oh, I want this sort of food, or like I want to go this place, to like big life things. So
that's so true.
It can be a whole range of anything.
I think like I mean, I can kind of talk about the work thing to a degree, obviously, because I've got an outcome for it now. But
yeah.
So with work, there was a particular person that I knew through work that unfortunately wasn't professional, and
it happens.
Yeah, it went on for a few months. It wasn't just me; it was to other people, and it was their demeanour, this that and the other, the way they treated people was not professional at all.
Yeah.
So I kind of just lived with it and just cracked on, and then that person no longer worked in my department anymore. They moved to a different one.
Right. And
someone else stepped in, ironically, that I know very well.
Of course.
Stepped in into their role, which improved the work situation. And then quite recently, that person, with a bad attitude in a sense, went for a process within my work where they no longer work with us anymore, basically.
Right.
And it sounds really strange. I didn't like... Because one thing I want to make sure I did with law of attraction is not sit there and be like, oh, well, I think they should get sacked because that's, this, that, and the other.
Right, because that's coming from a negative place too.
Yeah, and something I've always recognised it from Charmed. I do throwback there. From Charmed is where they say personal gain always gives like a negative effect back. because it's a personal thing.
Right.
Sorry, the time's just going off. So, for me, it was like, when I put it out to the universe, was I don't want that to happen to other people.
Right.
Because it affected me. I took time off because I was so stressed out from it. Someone else in the department did as well.
Yeah.
And it really got to me personally, and I didn't want that to then be passed on someone else, and then for this person to get away with it.
Yeah, and like spiral and everything.
Yeah, so I didn't want it to be like, I want that person to get fired or get sacked. I was like, I feel like that person needs to learn a lesson. And it's not okay what they've done. So I would like for this to, like, you know, this and the other. So and I feel like that actually happened. And I think because of the way I approached it as well, I came out thinking, well, I thought I'd feel guilty when I first started doing it. Because I was like, oh my God, if this happens, it's my fault. But then, yeah, it happened. And afterwards I'm like, actually, you know what? Maybe that's what the universe felt should happen, because maybe I'm meant to be self.
You kind of like let it take its course.
Yeah, pretty much. And and that for me was a big thing that happened this year that has really made my working life so much better.
Well, it's like kind of getting what you needed and wanted, but letting the universe kind of take control of it, not like you like self-sabotaging or like doing something mean to someone else. Like, it's just like, I don't want this anymore, like, take it out of my life.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally it.
Yeah. I think the only other example that like shows it, I mean, I wrote down so many, but one thing I feel that shows it quite well is in 2017. I feel like this is why I started to believe it. When my family and I traveled, we did London, Paris, Amsterdam, and I remember being in Amsterdam and it was like so close when we were flying back home, and I was like, I just want to go back to London so badly. Like, I was like, I miss London and I want to be back. I was just like, I want one more day. And it was just like the weirdest series of events that we were going to leave to go home from Amsterdam when this like freak thunderstorm kind of came out of nowhere and we couldn't really fly back. And it was kind of that thing that because of that random freak storm, we actually ended up having to stay the night in London.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
I got back that other night in London. We stayed there for a night and then had kind of a bit of the day before we actually had to fly home. And it was that thing, I feel like, looking back, I wanted it so much that I was so dead set, I'm like, it's happening, like, I'm gonna be in London again, that it literally happened before we even left to go back home for the trip. Because I wanted it so badly. It was just, like, the weirdest circumstances, like, the storm came out of nowhere, like, and then, of course, we ended up back in London at the airport and couldn't leave because there were no flights going out, and it was just, like, everything sort of happened to allow me to be back in London for one more night, so that was nice.
I like that.
Yeah. But like, again, it doesn't have to be huge things like that. It can be really small things. But I think if you want to start with using the law of attraction, I still do it, is like starting with really small things.
Yes.
Because once you start to see it work, then you can trust it and apply it to like bigger things. Because it's hard with big things, like for us, like YouTube, having that trust and letting go. It's kind of hard because you can't see the effect right away. So starting with smaller things and being able to learn that it does work really helps.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that is so true.
I feel like every time we film these, I just ramble and I'm like, what did I just say in any of this? I don't remember. But I think that's pretty much everything we want to cover. Do you have anything else you want to say or add?
No, I think I feel like we covered a really good, like, majority of it, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap up then. If you guys believe in the law of attraction, you can let us know in the comments below, or if you have examples of it working, anything big or small, let us know. Yeah, we're back now with our podcast. This is the second podcast we posted. We're back on a schedule. Like and subscribe to the video. I'm struggling with the YouTube outro because I haven't done this in so long. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with everyone. Click the little bell notifications so you know when a new podcast goes out. And yeah, that's it for Faded Friends podcast this time. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, we gotta do our new outro. Guys, please don't judge us. This is just our thing. It'll catch on, believe me.
It will, it will.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.